And it's Richard Southern here at Queen's Park, where we had some fireworks just taking place inside the legislature. Politicians here, they have just wrapped up debate to take away those 2 paid sick days and to freeze the minimum wage. No final vote happened because protesters erupted in the public gallery. Take a look. It's the group 15 and Fairness that was protesting in the public galleries here in Queen's Park today. And they did not take a final vote on this today. We're expecting the final vote to happen tomorrow, again, to repeal the 2 sick days and to freeze the minimum wage. And perhaps we're expecting some more protests to take place tomorrow when that happens. I actually had a chance to ask Premier Ford today if he has any regrets about taking away those sick days. Premier, a recent poll found 77% of Ontarians oppose the move to remove those 2 paid sick days that were in Bill 148. I was wondering, has there been any second thought when it comes to specifically to those sick days, Mr. Premier?
Well, you know something, we still have eight paid, not unpaid days that they can take off. But, you know, we have to be competitive right now. And a lot of the vast majority of people that have contracts or part of the union, they have that in their contract, so that doesn't affect their contract.
We also have a government that's not interested in making sure that more people can be covered by a collective agreement and by the protection of a union, and that's clearly the stated position of the Conservatives, so you can't have it both ways.
But also, in response to my question about any potential regret on sick days, Ford seemed to suggest that employees simply work out a deal with their boss.
Just speaking by experience, if someone's under the weather, they're a great employee, I should say, they usually give them a break. But that's going to be up to the employee and the employer to make those deals.
Negotiate in the middle of the terms of employment. Who has power in that negotiation?
But can businesses afford this right now?
I think so, yes. Businesses can afford that. Many businesses already do that. Most minimum wage workers work for corporations of 500 and more.
I asked the Premier today about if he had any second thoughts about taking away the sick days. And this win, he said, maybe employees should negotiate with their employer to get that. And he said that's maybe something that a lot of people can do. What do you think about that?
I think that puts a lot of onus on people who don't necessarily have the ability to do that negotiation. You know, if you're in a situation where you are in precarious work or you're a new employee, or if you've been in a job for a long time and you just don't have an employer who is sympathetic, then you're in a position where you actually need somebody else to advocate for you. And from my perspective, that's the government should be doing that.
The group 15 and Fairness, which demonstrated in the public galleries today at the legislature, has been very vocal on the issue of minimum wage and sick days, and they are vowing to keep up their fight.
We're not just going to sit back and let this government destroy our labor rights. I think that it's really important for us and important for every single MPP to know that their constituents will know how they voted today.
A lot of people look at this and they say, if I have a job with no paid sick days, I should just get a job that does. Why does the government have to provide that or guarantee that?
Well, because if you've got a job where there are no paid sick days and that's the job you have, then government has a role to play in making sure that you're treated well. Again, final debate has just wrapped up on this repeal of Bill 148 and protesters interrupting the legislature here tonight. Final vote on the repeal of the paid sick days and the freezing of the minimum wage expected at Queen's Park tomorrow.